So you've been practicing Krishna consciousness, reading Srila Prabhupada's books, stealthily, huh? Do your parents know about your advancement and your learning about Krishna consciousness?
Yes, they know.
They know. Okay. They approve of it? Do they approve of this wonderful?
No, Prabhu.
They don't.
Absolutely not. No.
But their scare is that you would become a devotee, and I mean you're already part and parcel of Krishna, but you would become a Hare Krishna devotee and leave your family members. Is that it? The difficulty?
Yes, I think most of the Indian parents think that when the child would grow, they will leave the parents and join any monastery and would live there.
I mean, why do they have
problem?
That is the problem. But I mean, don't your parents know that there's something called the Grihastha ashram where you can remain a Hare Krishna devotee and be with your parents and then practice Krishna consciousness and have children and have a business and have a life and at the same time and do all the Krishna conscious activities? I mean, don't they know that? The Varna and ashram system?
My parents do not know this. They think that the work and this Krishna conscious cannot be done simultaneously.
It cannot be done simultaneously, or it can?
They think it can't be done simultaneously.
Oh, that's okay. Huh. But Prabhupada was doing the same thing, right? Srila Prabhupada, our spiritual master, he was working as a pharmacist, and then he was preaching Krishna consciousness, at the same time maintaining his family and business and having devotees over their houses and having meetings, just like we're having online right now, meetings. So I think it's a lack of education, Prabhu. And I think if you educate them and be like, look, our spiritual master, he was doing this same thing that I'm doing. He was also very educated and learned person, right?
Yes, Prabhu. I often try to talk with them about this matter, but they seem to be not interested.
Well, then we have this Istagosthi program. You think they would be interested in like hearing from Narayan Prabhu or other Westerners who are like myself? I'm a Grihastha also. So, and I'm still maintaining, our standards of chanting and associating with devotees. So maybe they can participate in our meetings if you think it is necessary.
I'll try.
Because and because so they can see, oh, here's a Grihastha, there's another Grihastha. So they don't feel like you're going to leave them, and you should not leave them. You should educate them, right? It's all about education.
Yes, Prabhu.
If you educate them, I mean, like my parents, when I became a practicing or I started Krishna consciousness, my parents were somewhat against the idea of this lifestyle, but I still continued that. And my mom became a vegetarian. She became more favorable. And
how Prabhu you convinced them?
I did not try to convince them. I was just doing my practices. I was associating with devotees. I was having devotees at my home. And sooner or later, it became second nature because, the spirit soul is already part and parcel of Krishna. Every spirit soul, either devotee or non-devotee.
Yes.
They're part and parcel of Krishna. So as long as we treat them as spirit souls, and we present them Srila Prabhupada's books, so we read the books and have conversations with them, nice conversations, not like I'm trying to convert you, and they will be receptive. It may take some time though, 1 year, 2 years, 10 years, but but you'll be able to and now, my dad, after 10 years or something, now he has understood that Krishna consciousness is a great thing,
10 years.
10 years, yeah.
After 10 years.
Yeah, after 10 years. The thing which is nice about Krishna consciousness is that we have so many books. So if your father is a reader, he's a scholar, or he's a, he can read all these things in Prabhupada's books, right? And
Yes,
what mother language? I mean, what mother tongue do you speak? What's your mother tongue? Hindi, English?
my mother language is Bengali.
Oh, Bengali. Acha.
Yes.
Well, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You guys are disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jare dakota hai ko Krishna Upadesh. This order is
Satsanga Tyago.
Asatsanga Tyago, right. Jai, Haribol. You're so you heard about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu when you were young, and
Yes.
What did you think about him? You thought he was some kind of great personality? Did you know that he was the most confidential?
No, when I came in contact with Prabhupada books, then I got to know about him more in details about him. That he was the most confidential devotee of Lord, and he was the incarnation of Radha and Krishna.
And what part of where do you stay? West Bengal?
Not it. No, I'm staying in Tripura, Agartala.
Where? Tripura?
Northeast. Yes, Northeast.
Acha. How far from Mayapur?
Mayapur is in West Bengal.
Yeah.
And Tripura in the Northeast. So might be 1,000 kilometers.
1,000 kilometers. Acha. So, any of the acharyas from where you are, any of these Gaudiya Vaishnava acharyas, they're from your hometown, where you are right now?
Nearby there is no acharya here.
Oh. Acharya in a sense that someone appeared there, like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared in Sridham Mayapur. Lord Nityananda appeared.
No.
No?
No Prabhu. No Prabhu.
Oh. Do they have any Gaudiya Vaishnava temples there?
Yes, there is one ISKCON temple.
Acha. Right. You go to it? Do you go to the temple sometimes? Okay. So anyone who's watching this on Facebook and YouTube, if you'd like to join, please join our WhatsApp group. Our group chat link of the WhatsApp group is in the description. And then once you're in, there's a link posted there where you can participate in the Zoom meetings. So we'll have more devotees joining in a few minutes. So kind of bear with us. Devotees are joining from all over the world, from Texas, from United States, from India, Germany. And our videos are getting a lot of views on YouTube and Facebook. So we'd like to extend this welcome to you, where you can come on the show and share your Krishna conscious realizations and spread the movement in whichever way you can. So what I'll do is, since we're waiting for some devotees to join, I'll start a video on, so people who are waiting, they're not bored. So let me get that going here. Okay, let's play a Srila Prabhupada video. And Srila Prabhupada. right. This is a good one here. All right. Share screen. Haribol, sorry. I was waiting. I moved away from the computer and I didn't see you guys waiting.
No problem.
We have Arjit Prabhu. He's a devotee that's joining us for the first time. And
What is his name?
I can talk through that. Arjit Prabhu. He's
Oh,
yes. He sent a message. My mother woke up, Prabhu. I can talk through chat only. So I guess
really?
he was saying that his parents have his parents don't understand Krishna consciousness. They're thinking that if his son or daughter or his son becomes a devotee, he would leave the family, and then So I was telling him, hey, look, yeah.
Leave his family to what? To become a monk in a temple?
Yeah. So he could, but
my whole generation pretty much did that. They broke up with their material families who largely were not happy about them doing it and moved into temples.
Right.
But it's not necessary to move into a temple. It's easier if you want to live in a monastery. It's better to move into the temple. But if you want to live at home or have a job, then you have to learn how to practice Krishna consciousness at home. Follow the regular principles. Offer your prasadam.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. I was like, look, Srila Prabhupada was a Grihastha man too. So you can also become an ideal devotee.
That was interesting, yeah.
And how he was having his guard brothers coming to his place, and they were preaching together, and they were trying to push on the movement together, collaborating together. So that's what we're doing also.
Yeah, it's a league of devotees, and we have the league for 10K.
Exactly. Right.
Is Rupa
Manjari
on?
I think so.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm here.
Hi, Prabhu. Jai, good to have you here.
Hi, Krishna.
Jai.
Right. All right, Narayan Prabhu, let's continue our conversation that we were having with. We were talking about our presentation should be non-combative, and what's the other thing? A lot of people are seeing this as we're trying to combat, or trying to change the whole structure in ISKCON.
Yeah, no, we're not trying to change anything. We were trying to bring it back to the level of authenticity with which it was presented in the first place. If people stretch something, doesn't to the right space. If you're pulling a rubber band, at some point you have to put it back where it was, and it's just a piece of round rubber. You can't just stretch and expect everything to work. So they're stretching Prabhupada's instructions in every direction. So we need to say, okay, now it's time to put it back nicely, and then we'll go on from there.
Jai.
No. So
can you describe your wonderful experience at the Rath Yatra that was today in Los Angeles?
a wonderful experience. Well, as you know, I didn't go there because I really wanted to go to the Rath Yatra, because they have the Rath Yatra cards. The deities, which I carved, were on the Rath Yatra card. And we were marching back and forth. One do about 2 blocks, maybe 3 blocks, and then back again, and forward again, and back again about 6 times. So it wasn't as though it were a very big deal. It was not even remotely, even with 1,000,000 miles of the one we experienced in Berkeley. Not even 1,000,000 miles.
So you met some interesting people there, I guess. You know, you were saying.
Oh yes. I did. Met someone that Rupa Manjari knows. Oh my God, where's the cover? Where's the people? There it is. Met someone that Rupa Manjari knows. Oh yeah, it's on my phone. Try to just. His name is on the phone. Rupa Manjari, do you remember when we were invited to give the leading kirtan for a brand new temple someplace quite east of Los Angeles?
Apple Valley?
Was it Apple Valley? Yeah, it was
I think
Apple
so.
Valley. What
Yeah.
was the name of the devotee?
Ram Parshar.
Yeah, Ram Parshar. I met him and I started in line waiting for prasadam, and he was very interested in what we're doing. So I think, you know, even though he's, well, I think, you know, he's a devotee of Krishna. So it will, I think that the ideas that we're coming up with will be very helpful to what he's doing in Apple Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Is this Apple Valley Temple a Prabhupada Nuga temple or a Hindu temple? Remember, we went to a temple in Modesto. So is it a temple like that, or?
No. It's very, very nice. Rupa Manjari, what would you say? It's a beautifully designed building, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, but it's a Hindu temple.
Hindu temple in a sense, but he's a disciple of Prabhupada. He's initiated by Prabhupada.
Oh,
But he's dealing with an Indian community. But, you know, obviously they accept Lord Chaitanya.
mm-hmm. Acha. Do they accept the same catechisms as the Prabhupada set up, like chanting of the heart and the whole program?
The truth, you know, I'm not sure what they do. We can be in touch with it. He wants to be in touch with us. He wants to participate with us. And I invited him to join with us on the Istagosthi in League for 10K. He likes everything.
Right.
So he will be.
Yeah, so give me his number. No, probably offline, not right now. So don't say anything right now. I'll get the number from you.
And he's probably still in Los Angeles or driving to Apple Valley.
Okay.
So tonight may not be good, but
okay. Yes.
Let me give you his telephone.
I'll take it offline, not right now, because it's live right now. We don't want to.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, we don't want to
personal
publish
information.
it.
Yes.
Yep.
So.
Then I met another person named Lokesh Tumba, Thumba, and apparently he comes from a town or village where everybody's name is Tumba. They're all related to each other. And they never marry anybody else named Tumba. They have to marry from the outside. But there's about 200 of them in the village. And he's very excited about what we're doing.
Jai.
Yes, he's a 949 number.
Okay, I see. Yeah,
So,
I mean.
So
These devotees
I thought it
coming.
was nice. It was a very good catch to get those two. Because they're very interested. I was telling him what we were talking about, and he's absolutely 100% in agreement of we don't need further gurus. All we need is Prabhupada, like that. You know, he's got it. As far as Ram Parashar is concerned, he already is a Prabhupada man, so we don't have to convince him of Prabhupada. In fact, he was basically a Ritvik, and they kicked him out of the temple. And it was interesting because he was living in an apartment across the street from the temple, but the way the temple apartments are configured, they are monastic property, so they're not under the rent control rules. So they were able to evict him. So they evicted him, and he took off and with his family, and has been doing very wonderfully well since that time.
Yeah. It's pretty interesting how when people get kicked out, you know, instead of, you know, having this wonderful devotee stay in ISKCON, they kick him out. And just like, you know, me, they did a similar thing. I was like, let's use the money for Krishna service. Let's make a temple. But we don't we don't like what you're doing.
Do you remember what the issue was? Why they kicked him out?
No.
I think it was sort of before your time. It's when I was still living on Mindanao Street on Shore Avenue. But during the BBT case, but the problem that he had is I think he was absolutely too successful. He was getting so many, I think, life members or members of some sort. He got so many that they were all beginning to show a loyalty to him, and the temple authorities didn't like that, and so they kicked him out. So they kicked him out, and he took all the people with him.
What a powerful dude, huh?
Yeah, and he's a very quiet, unassuming fellow.
Wow.
Indian body.
Wow. Oh, I mean, it doesn't make sense to me. Instead of empowering these wonderful Indian people, they kick them out, you know, like, what the hell, you know?
Because they're running a controlled group. This is not the ISKCON that Prabhupada envisioned, where everybody incorporates their own temple. You know, if you incorporate your own temple, then there's no question of somebody kicking somebody else out from a temple. The only way to kick them out is the GBC could do it, I suppose, but it would have to be with the permission with all the temple presidents. It would be a big deal to kick anybody out. And it would have to be for some real great offense or corruption or something, you know.
Yes.
Not for simply having a different view.
Yeah,
So,
just
I
like,
don't want to lament and complain over the past. We have a clear path here for the future. We know what to do to structure the future. Let's just go and do it as we speak.
right.
Right.
So anyone who's watching this on Facebook and YouTube, you can join us. Our group link in the WhatsApp. It's in the description. So just join the WhatsApp, and then there's a link posted there, and you can participate. So,
was it listed under the League for 10K?
No, iṣṭa-goṣṭhī. You know, we're getting people in iṣṭa-goṣṭhī group. Then once they participate, we put them to the League for 10K because we might, you know, we've gotten spammers and crazy people. So we can ban them.
Haven't we?
Yeah, so we can just ban them directly without disturbing the core group.
Exactly.
We got to be a little
and the
strategic.
Prabhupada, as he is, section with Subramaniam, he posts great stuff there. So I'm so glad to go there and read it, as long as it's not on the WhatsApp.
The League for 10K.
League for 10K page, so we can keep that as clear as possible for basic confrontational ideas. This person says something, the other person says something about what they said, not they're just nectar, you know.
Right. So how's the plan looking for Rath Yatra next week? Or when is it next month? In 2 weeks.
No, 2 weeks. 2 weeks.
Yeah, come. Who wants to come? Anyone
Well, today's
online?
Sunday. It must be Sunday, so it'll be the second Sunday from now.
Yes. Bring them.
Oh,
Bring everyone
I
down.
would like to. I'd very much like to be there.
Yeah. Come.
So everything's up in the air. I don't have any idea what's happening.
Why not?
Well, because my car exploded, you know.
Oh yeah, right. That car exploded, right? Okay.
Yeah. So anyhow, that's nice.
All right. So our group is how many people here? Let's see.
Just us three.
I think that Rupa Manjari is Rupa Manjari okay with going to Rath Yatra on the 14th?
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, you guys can decide last minute. Be like, hey, ready to come.
Yeah.
Come on over. You know.
I think it would be
doesn't matter to me.
wonderful. And I just want you to know that this is a chance for me to work with you side by side in order to get the cow project started with all those people with the cows that are going to be
Oh yeah.
at the
Yes.
Rath Yatra.
Yeah, that person will be there. He'll probably have some products and some, material for the Varnashram, cow protection.
Well, Rupa Manjari has already bonded with him, made contact with him several years ago. You know.
Yeah,
5
they know
years
each
ago.
other, right? I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. So it'd be
So-
like a continuation and a development, which she would be in charge of.
Right. Yes. Try.
So it's a really great thing to do. I hope, because yeah. Okay, good.
Jai Rupa Prabhu, what's going on? You're so quiet today. Are you in
Oh,
Samadhi
just-
already?
I'm a little tired.
Okay. No worries. Jai.
So what do we want to talk about?
You tell me. What have you read, or what do you want to talk about? I've been just dealing with people here locally, trying to.
Oh, why don't you tell us about that?
Yeah, devotees. I've been talking to some devotees here. Remember that devotee who was very upset with us, Rupa, at
Yeah.
Rath Yatra? He called me
Yeah.
over his house, and
Which one? The Prabhupada disciple?
No, not the Prabhupada disciple, but the other gentleman who was a disciple of Bhakti Charu Swami. So he was.
I'm trying to
He
remember,
invited.
what was the context that we spoke? I remember
was
we
saying-
spoke to one fellow that wanted the money back. He's from Fiji, young guy, tall young guy. But then, where did we speak with this other guy?
We spoke with him on the sidewalk, and so he's a very nice gentleman, but he's an older devotee. He's probably in his mid 63 or something.
I see. Yeah.
And he has a understanding that all the ISKCON gurus, they have did a wonderful seva, and Ronald, you should not actually blaspheme them and talk about what the history of ISKCON. Whatever has happened in ISKCON, leave it to Krishna. He'll take care of it. That was just you chant your Hare Krishna and try to do some
That's not
service.
exactly right. How can we say leave it to Krishna?
Krishna will take care of that. His understanding is whatever they have done, they have done. They have served Srila Prabhupada also. Don't judge them. let them go on with whatever they're doing. And you just make your life perfect.
Well, in San Francisco back in 1966, probably 66, the devotees had been looking at a house in Twin Peaks to have for a temple, and they were looking into it, but they were very nervous about renting it because it was about like $400 a month, and what we had there was $75 a month or $50 a month at the temple on Frederick Street. And so they kept hedging around talking about it. Then somebody grabbed the house and rented it. And they said to Prabhupada, rather relieved they were, and they, well, sure, Prabhupada, it looks like Krishna did not want us to have that place. And Prabhupada said, do not blame Krishna for our mistakes, your mistakes. Don't blame Krishna for your mistakes. So his argument is not good. We have to all take responsibility.
Yeah.
And each individual is a jiva. Each one of us is an individual jiva.
Yes.
It's not as though that we make group decisions. We each make individual decisions. If it looks as though, if it makes as though a group is making a decision, it isn't.
Yeah, that was always my mood. Yes.
Yeah. So if it looks as though a group is making a decision, it just means that a bunch of individuals have chosen to give up their individuality.
Yeah, that's the problem here. I see in Sacramento. You know, we have very talented people, but as you know, as they've been trained by the unelected GBCs, you know, they've trained in this group thinking. Oh, you know, we have to agree everything as a group. I mean, and then they all fumble amongst themselves. So this is very
so that's
it's damaging.
It's two things. It's bodily consciousness. It's just like a herd of cows. You know, they get together, moo, and then one goes moo, and they keep going moo until they more or less come to an agreement. And it's sort of the average out the mooing into what they think they want to be or how they want to be. But that's not the way things actually work. Everybody is an individual, and no one should give up their individuality for any reason whatsoever.
Yeah, that's a very wonderful point, that how Srila Prabhupada wrote that letter to Karandara Prabhu about individual, spontaneous, and voluntary service. So in many ways, I've seen here, at least in Sacramento congregation, that is being hindered by the management and because of their mentalities and their understandings, groupthink.
Yeah.
That's why. Well, that's one of the reasons why we don't have a temple. They're always trying to figure out. Oh, everyone has to agree. Everyone has to do. You know, listen to what we have to say.
Well,
then we can make the.
We all have to agree with Prabhupada, but each of us must agree with Prabhupada as an individual.
Precisely. Yeah. We all have to agree with Prabhupada as individuals. And if we do not agree, we must have a meeting and see why do not we agree on this. Just
Otherwise,
like this.
we'll go wandering off as a herd in the wrong direction.
Right.
Why do we want to do that?
That's why this Istagosthi platform is the best way to communicate and get things squared away under the guidance. So we welcome everyone to come on and make this your home.
Yeah.
Jai. So, anything else, Prabhu? Looks like no one has joined, so Because now's the time. Arjit Prabhu, if you have any realizations you want to share, or you can type it in the chat, or anyone who's watching this on Facebook and YouTube. Join the WhatsApp group, and then we'll send you the link.
Well, we at least have those two good leads.
Chai.
So I will give you the information. You can contact them if you like.
Yes, yes.
It's funny that nobody is on but us. I thought somebody else was on. Or did they leave?
I think
they are on. No, he's here. Arjit Prabhu is here, but he's on mute. I guess his family is there. So he's Arjit Prabhu.
Okay.
He's listening. So he's in the group, but he's muted.
Well, does he have any question or issue that he wants to deal with?
I don't know. He's muted. So Arjit.
Didn't he say he would text us or something to that effect?
Yes. He will text us.
Why not ask him if he has any question or issues that he would like to deal with?
Yes. So he's hearing, so he's getting the message. So I'll send him a message also. He's hearing.
He's hearing, but tell him this is a chance when he can text in a question or statement or something he wants to hear us discuss.
Okay, I'll do that now.
Yeah, do that.
Try.
You look nice in your shawl, Narayan.
Thank you. How do you like my big beard?
It's nice and non-existent.
Yeah. Well, I don't need it anymore. So let's go to around the outro. It's good. Unless, do you think would that make a problem with your partner?
I don't think so.
Let's do it. This is good. This is a great opportunity, and Rathi Yatra only comes up infrequently, and we're on a roll. So why don't we just go on a roll and make it happen?
I'll think about it.
No, let's do it, because I want to go, and I don't want to take a plane or a bus or walk. I promise I'll be a nice guy.
All right. No, the next.
Yeah.
Don't worry, I'll moderate. I'll take Rupa Manjari's side. Okay. So if no one's joining us, then I'll put up something on the screen. Martya Khan is coming in.
Oh, we got a message from Arjit.
Okay.
What did he say?
He said, Prabhu, can you talk about the pastimes of Lord Krishna? Can you discuss?
Well, what part of the pastimes? There's so many pastimes, unlimited pastimes. Anyone? No, Prabhu, you want to give a synopsis of one of Krishna's transcendental pastimes?
Why don't I give a synopsis of all of them?
Sure. Yeah.
It's just like the one thing I would say is that Seshanaga, was the same Seshanaga that is in Fiji over the deity of Krishna dancing on the head of Kaliya. That sort. It's not the same, but multi-headed Kaliya, not Kaliya, but I'm sorry.
Anantashesha.
Anantashesha, yes. That he has unlimited heads. When we say unlimited, we don't just mean lots. We mean or hundreds or thousands or millions. Unlimited heads. There's no limit. Each head has, of course, a mouth. Each mouth is continuously uttering the glories of Krishna's pastimes. Each mouth. Each mouth never repeats himself twice. That was not, it goes to 100 and then goes back to and starts all over again at number 1. No, they're continuously speaking the glories of Krishna, his mouth. And that is multiplied by all of his mouths, which are unlimited, none of which repeat themselves what other mouths have said. You see? So to describe Krishna's pastimes, you have to look at the context. Is that if Seshanaga can describe Krishna and his pastimes unlimitedly, because he has unlimited heads and each head is uttering the glories of Krishna, and each head never repeats itself twice, and no 2 heads of the unlimited heads repeat themselves at all. Isn't that an amazing number of qualities that Krishna has that can be described by Seshanaga? So when you say that we're going to discuss Krishna's pastimes, in Istagosthi we discuss the pastimes pertaining to issues that we're dealing with. We're trying to save the world. Our process in the League for 10K, 10,000 years for Golden Age of Kali, is to develop a means through Istagosthi, meaning discussions, soul to soul, jiva to jiva discussion, how to create a plan that every living entity will hear the holy name of Krishna once at least. And we're taking into view that it's easy to talk to plants, and it's easy to talk to trees, roots. You don't talk to their branches. That's silly. You talk to the root. You chant to the root. Hare Krishna. When you chant japa, you can chant to the root of the plant. Invite the plant's root to come and join you in hearing and chanting process, because the jiva's there, Paramatma's there, you're there, meaning you are the jiva also there, Paramatma's there with you. So you have 2 Paramatmas and 2 jivas independently there. And when you are chanting Hare Krishna, when that other jiva hears the holy name, he will go back to Godhead eventually. Even as a plant, it may take quite a while of evolution to get to a point where he can become a human being. But that is what is possible. And yet we know that by hearing once the holy name of Krishna, he is going to go back to Godhead.
Hare Krishna.
Jai. Oh, is that it? Jai. So to answer that question, are we going to discuss Krishna's pastimes? There are so many pastimes. What we need to do is to discuss how to bring the jivas into contact with those pastimes. And that is clearly, Prabhupada has written so many books. Read them. But when you want to discuss, reading them is one thing. But when you want to discuss the points in those books, then come to Istagosthi, and we will talk back and forth from jiva to jiva, not body to body, not Hindu to Hindu, or Indian to American, or American to Danish, not like that. We are talking jiva to jiva, spirit soul to spirit soul. And as we speak spirit soul to spirit soul, then it is entirely possible for us to resolve issues that will bring about the deliverance of all the fallen souls. We need to make a plan. Prabhu, who wants to know to chant Krishna's pastimes? Yes. We want to make a plan whereby each jiva, plant, germ, the root in the plant is where the jiva is. The root in the tree is where the jiva is, in the trunk and the roots of the tree. And when we discuss those, chant Hare Krishna, and the root of the hearers, because in the root is the jiva, just like in our own heart. there's Jiva, and also just like in our own heart, there's Paramatma. So the tree has a Jiva Paramatma in its root. So when we chant Hare Krishna, our goal should be to enable that plant or that tree to absorb the vibration of the Hare Krishna mantra. He will then go back to Godhead. Not immediately, not in this next lifetime, but he will never be able to rest or be satisfied until he finds out more about the Hare Krishna mantra. For that reason, having kirtan out of doors is very beneficial to all the plants that are out there. Humans have so much resistance, but plants and insects, they are ready to hear. You chant Hare Krishna, and when you're in that mood of chanting to the trees and chanting to the plants, and you walk down and you see a human being and you chant, you'll see them involuntarily moving inside. Just like you can sense the trees and the plants involuntarily being affected, they're moving, they're being drawn, they're being tweaked. Because let's face it, think how boring it is to be a tree. Humans are all busy doing this and that, buying cars and going to the nightclubs and all that stuff. But trees, and they're bored. So you chant Hare Krishna to them, it's the most exciting thing they've ever heard. And they do hear. There was a whole cult back in the 70s, I think, where they were trying to figure out, do plants like music? So they would play rock and roll music, and the plants would begin to shrivel a bit. Then they'd play Mozart, and the plants would begin to thrive and look very happy and look very comfortable. So plants can hear and distinguish music. So we must give them the Hare Krishna mantra. Then when you give them that, they will know what to do with it after that. They will use it to get out of their plant condition into a conscious human condition, and then go develop pure unalloyed love of God, and then they will go back to God. So let's do that. It's fun, as a matter of fact.
Hare Krishna.
I was doing it today. I was a bit stressed today, so it wasn't at my best. But Rupa, did you try it? Chanting to the root of a tree today and see what happened?
Yep.
Well, did the tree seem pleased?
Trees looked kind of the same.
No, they look the same. They've got tree bodies. Just like people look the same. You have to go for what's going on inside the tree. The jiva and the paramatma is inside the tree. So you got to adjust them. There's no point in adjusting a bunch of bark and wood. You adjust the jiva. You adjust the living being that's just like you and me. And if it had a mouth, it would be capable of speech, just like you and me. And Paramatma's there. And you can ask, induce Paramatma, please engage this jiva in hearing the holy name, so that someday they will chant the holy name when they take a different body. Yeah. Take it very seriously. It's much easier and with plants and animals and whatnot. So when you get into that mood, you will find that talking to humans becomes more practical. Instead of thinking, well, this is a human, he can chant Hare Krishna, that's a tree, but can't chant Hare Krishna. No, we need to convey over that the tree is just like you and me, just a different body. Body is different. Does that work for you, Rupa? Do you like that idea?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely, isn't it? Why should we separate ourselves from the other jivas?
All right. Arjit Prabhu said, beautiful Prabhu, awesome Prabhu. So he really liked your synopsis of the.
Okay, good. So he's using texting. I don't know what he texted, but we discussed it. So that's similar preaching to plants and trees. You don't know what they're saying or thinking or feeling or wanting, but when you chant to them, they become delighted.
Right.
And why not make a plant delighted? I mean, they're stuck in the ground or stuck in a pot. They can't run out the door. So chant, captive audience.
He's saying in the chat that I'm not engaged in devotional service. I'm just reading the books of Srila Prabhupada. So that is devotional service.
Yeah. Why not explain? That is devotional service.
Yeah.
If you're reading the Prabhupada's books, that is all that it takes for you to realize. Prabhupada said the only reason to read his books is to understand why and how to chant.
Right.
It's not that we should not think that devotional service is some magical formula which will liberate me from the material world. You're already liberated from the material world because you've heard the holy name of Krishna. Now, instead of trying to figure out how to become even more liberated, don't worry about it. Liberate others. Go everywhere you go, whomever you meet, liberate them by uttering the holy name of Krishna. If you can do that, that is devotional service. That's the best. Lord Chaitanya wanted it. Not just mop the temple floor or to chop up the vegetables to offer to Krishna. Those are wonderful things to do. But the most wonderful thing to do is to engage others in hearing the holy name of Krishna. And we need to turn our mentality in that direction so that we're not so stuck on being in our body and then talking to people that are in their bodies. And so it's body to body and it turns into an argument and stuff like that. No, we don't need that. We want every place to be of complete agreement. And that comes about by accepting, endorsing, absorbing all the blades of all the grass, not the blades of the grass, but the roots of the grass in the soil. Adopt them. Make them yours. Chant. Let them, you'll feel them move. And actually, they do. They don't move physically, obviously, they're stuck in the ground. They move psychically. When they move psychically, it's a delight. It's a pleasure to feel them moving.
Back to work.
Yeah.
What's weird?
Oh, I wanted to play a Prabhupada video. 1 second. So once
Sure.
you're done, Narayan Prabhu. Once
I'm
you're done.
done.
Okay. Okay, you're done. All right.
I appreciate that Ramachandra Singh does.
I know. I was thinking about you. So Mahaprabhu, you hear
right.
it. You
I was
hear this
feeling
very,
it.
You're feeling it. Yeah, yeah. You hear it. It's only 40 seconds. And you're going to pick up the essence of Krishna consciousness. Watch. 1 second. Let me get this going. Why is
Back to work.
Yeah. Is that?
He wants to know if we like to work.
We are working more than you. 24 hours in the old age. I am traveling all over the world. You cannot work more than us because I am an old man, 79 years old, and I am traveling always, all over the world, twice, thrice in a year. You cannot work so much, at least.
Huh? Mahaprabhu,
That was-
what do you
that
think
was
about
awesome.
that?
Fantastic. We
Yeah.
are constantly working.
Yeah, no kidding.
No, Narayan Prabhu, you're ready to reach Prabhupada's age, 79 years old.
79,
really-
wow.
Well, that's when he's going to really start working.
That's right.
It's time for me to start traveling all over the world.
Right.
Fantastic. Hari
Yeah.
bol.
Aye.
Yeah,
I
mean,
love the videos.
Yeah, I mean, we have so much nectar from, Srila Prabhupada and never a dull moment, right?
That's
The
right.
lectures, conversations, videos, that small video, 45 seconds.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Powerful.
Hare Krishna.
Next one.
Arjit
Arjit?
Prabhu wrote, he said, whenever I hear Srila Prabhupada My hair stands on end sometimes.
No, absolutely.
Jai. Here's
That's
another
the
one.
gentleman
Mahaprabhu.
who's, that's nice.
Yes.
So ask him to continue to join with us whenever he likes. In fact, every time, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday, night, 8 o'clock USA time, California time, why not invite him to join us every time? And if
Yes.
he wants to, because he's been a great, by writing in his questions, it's been a great inspiration for all of us.
Jai.
Guru Sri Juta Padakamalang.
Yes.
How do you this person who says they're suffering when they say that they're not afraid to die?
That's
Madhavisa.
Madhavisa
Not
there.
afraid to die.
Yes.
And says that he's not suffering. How do
He's a madman. That's all. Who is caring for madman's work?
Hare Krishna.
Convince some people that they're not their bodies, but it's not very easy to convince them that they're not their mind. There's some way we can.
But that will take time. How can we expect? Then 1 minute everyone will understand everything. It requires education, time. If he is prepared to give the time, then he will understand. Not that within 5 minutes, 10 minutes he will understand the whole thing. That's not possible.
Hare Krishna.
He is a diseased man. He requires treatment, medicine, and diet. In this way he will understand.
That is the Kanistha.
A diseased man, if he doesn't care for medicine, diet, then he'll...
He said, Narayan, this is the Kanishtadhikari.
Yeah, that's the Kanistha process, is to become from the diseased man to the recovering man.
Yes.
suffer. That's all.
The word, the secret word is diet.
Diet. D-I-E-T, yes. Yes.
Yeah, so what he is eating. So that means taking prasadam, you become purified.
Right. Chant Hare Krishna. You accelerate the process.
Easier said than done.
Yes? Anyone? No?
What temple is this, do you think?
I think this is in Australia. It's my guess.
Wow.
Yeah, I think. I'll go back to the video once we're done watching it.
Well, Madhavisa's there.
Yeah, Madhavisa was in Australia, right? It was the GBC of Australia.
He's the guy that dragged me over to the temple. And then he's the guy that dragged me over and said he wanted me to join. I said, but I don't want to join. He said, no. I said, but I want to join. I said, well, go ahead, join. You don't have to. He said, no, if I join by myself, I will probably leave. But if you join, I know you will not leave. Therefore, you join and I will join. I ended up joining.
Yeah, Haribol.
But he could not imagine it's the same guy. He was practically catatonic. And he was, he was wobbling back and forth and he could barely speak.
Wow.
And later on, became very strong.
Right. Let me continue the video.
Yes, please.
We have been here for many lifetimes performing sinful activities. So is it possible to counteract all those sinful activities in one lifetime, or does it require many
1 minute. That is Krishna consciousness movement. 1 minute. You are not reading Bhagavad Gita? What Krishna says? Sarva dharman parityajya mamekang saranang braja Ongta sarva papebha mokshayami. You surrender unto me, give up your all business. I will give you relief from all sinful reaction immediately. It takes 1 minute. My dear Krishna, I was forgotten, now I understand, I fully surrender unto you. Then you become immediately free from all sin. Without any reservation, without any politics. If you fully surrender, Krishna is assuring, Aham tva sarva papi bhamokhaisami masucha. He reassures, don't worry whether I will be able to give you relief from all reaction. Masucha. It is guaranteed. You do this. So, how much time it requires to surrender to Krishna? Immediately you can do that. Surrender means you surrender and work as Krishna says. That is surrender. What Krishna says to do. Manmana bhavamad bhakta madhyajimang namaskuru.
I lost audio.
4 things. You always think of me.
Mahaprabhu, we lost audio. Rupa Manjari, can you hear?
I can hear.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mahaprabhu, what's going on? Did you tweak with the phone?
Not sure.
Huh.
It's okay. I'll hang in there.
You can read the subtitles. Can you see the titles? Subtitles?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Mahaprabhu, you should get in touch with my
You become
hearing
my
specialist.
devotee. You worship me.
What did you say, Narayan Prabhu? What did you say?
I'm saying to Mahaprabhu, you should get in touch with my hearing specialist.
Oh,
We're working on it.
all right.
And offer your respectful obeisances and you do these 4 things. That is full surrender. Mami vaishasi, asangsa. Then you come to me without any doubt. Everything is there. Krishna has given everything fully. If you accept it, then life is very simple. There is no difficulty.
Hare Krishna.
Now, that's a very good point. If you accept it, then life is very simple. There is no difficulty.
Hare Krishna.
Oh.
Can you hear it, Mahaprabhu?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good now.
So yeah, that's
Thank you.
Prabhupada's classes. You know, we can do that in every town and village with the internet. Jai. All right, Prabhus. We're coming up. Mahaprabhu, what's up? You want to ask any questions?
No, I'm good. I
good?
love to listen.
Well, nice. Shravanam. That's hearing. Hearing from-
Shravanam. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's Shravanamacharya because he specializes in hearing.
Shravanam.
Shravanam Acharya, yeah. Expert listener.
How do you
First
say
class.
how do you say vision?
What?
I have no vision.
Shravanam is hearing. What about sight? Vision.
Sight is considered one of the lower qualities.
Okay. More materialistic.
Well, just more fickle. I mean, what are you
Yeah.
seeing?
You're seeing the material body. You're only seeing the material body. That's it. Or if that.
Or from the material body, you see other material bodies or other
yeah.
material things.
Yes. But the sound vibration coming is much more superior than anything else. Even you're
Wow.
hearing. Yes.
Yeah.
That's the Vedas. Yes.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Even if you,
True.
well, no, yes.
Just
if you were-
consider that when you're looking at something, sometimes even the most scrutinizing person cannot understand what they're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but when hearing, either you get it or you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Jai.
Hare Krishna.
That's why Srila Prabhupada wrote all these books, right? Narayana Prabhu, so we can hear.
Yeah, hearing, yes.
And that's why we recommend Prabhupada's original books and his audio tapes and videotapes and a lot of hearing material we have. So anyone can become Krishna conscious, like Prabhupada says, in 1 minute.
Shravana.
You know, back in 1969, when I was developing the the Detroit temple,
Yes.
I carved deities and whatnot there. I would take an old-fashioned record player. It actually had a record, like a 33 RPM record, and I would play Prabhupada's records, and I'd also play his tapes on a tape recorder. I'd lie down on the ground between the speakers and put the speakers up to my head, and I would just become immersed in hearing Prabhupada, inside and out.
Jai. Wow.
It's a great
amazing.
thing to do.
Yeah, that's what I do. Before I go to sleep, I put a Prabhupada lecture, and I've done that for some time. And this is one of the reasons why I think hearing from Srila Prabhupada for a good, a year or two, you can get a solid, how can you say, solid understanding in the philosophy.
Yes.
Repetition
Nice.
of hearing.
Nice.
Hearing. And then you can bypass all these initiators, this unnecessary initiators and everything else. Why we're going to go to a third party when we have the source?
We shouldn't take the initiators very seriously, and we should ask the ISKCON devotees, why do you take these initiators seriously? They're not doing anything for you that they wouldn't do if they weren't initiators. If you walk into the temple and they're there, instead of saying, oh, that's a guru or that's an initiator, just say that's a senior devotee. They will talk to you about Krishna consciousness. Why not? In the old days, that's how we did it. You go into a temple and whoever's in charge of the temple had been there for some time in another temple, then he came to open a temple. You come there, then he explains, and then everybody that joins, they learn, and then they explain. But as soon as they know something, they explain it to the new people that come in the door. So that's the way it always was. Sunday feast in Boston, I remember it was like everybody sat down, they were taking prasadam, sitting on the floor in different places, not in rows, but just all over the place. And all these Harvard students would be there. And they'd get into these incredible conversations over prasadam.
Wow.
So it's hearing, it is so important.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
So are we coming up to the end, Mahaprabhu?
It's just about 9 o'clock.
Yeah, we can call it an early dismissal. Unless Mahaprabhu.
I like your job, Rabbi Chandra Singh. You're able to sit down and relax and just keep an eye on everything.
Jai, yeah, my job is open for, we're looking, it's open vacancy all the time. So
Fantastic.
anyone can come take my job.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing that with us last night.
Oh, you mean the Bank of America thing, yeah?
That's right. They're renovating.
Yeah, they finished the whole thing. They put new carpets, they painted the whole thing.
Everything is finished?
In one night?
No, they started on Saturday morning. Today evening, they're done. You know what I mean? Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. They got huge furnitures. They got new cubicles. They got new chairs. All new stuff.
That's amazing.
2 truckloads worth of stuff. That Enterprise. What is that? 18 feet or 20 feet of space
What time
we've got also.
what time did you get home?
Well,
Late.
it was pretty, yeah, I started last night at 8 o'clock, and then I got off at about 8:30 a.m.
Wow.
and drove 1 hour and 20 minutes home.
Oh,
Then I went to a devotee, he invited me to his home. We had a conversation about what I'm doing and why he's saying that, oh, you should not, do this, do that. We had a conversation with him, and then my boss called me and said, hey, you forgot the keys. I'm like, oh crap, I forgot the keys. So I had to drive back all the way to Grass Valley, another 1 hour, 20 minutes. And then I came back. So it was an interesting journey.
So you didn't get very much sleep.
I got some sleep from probably, I don't know, from 2 to 5 o'clock or something.
Wow.
So 3 hours sleep.
Yeah. So anyways, it's all right. I'm pretty much rested.
But you started out at the beginning of this conversation to tell me about the guy that was objecting, and we met on the sidewalk. So can you continue that? Tell more about it.
Yeah, so he's a disciple of Bhakti Charu Swami. He's a senior devotee from Fiji. He's, I think, 63 years old. And he was saying that, all these Prabhupada disciples, you were constantly, blaspheming them by calling them names, this and that. So he was very, he said, Ronald, you should try not to do this. Let them, if they have done some wrong, let Krishna take care of it. He was,
what did you say?
He's a senior man, he's like my father's age. So I just listened to him, very carefully.
Yeah.
And then I told him, hey, if you have any disagreements, what we have to say, we're doing everything publicly. So you can also come participate in our Zoom meetings and raise up the point that, why are you guys saying this? Why are you saying like this? Why are you saying like that? So I invited him.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
I said,
it must have thrown him off base.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I'm told him, hey, we discussed this thing very openly. You're also very welcome to come and criticize us also. Not, but, make it in such a way that, you draw a point, in a philosophical point of, okay, and not just, not just, when we talk about things, we try to give an accurate picture of what was actually happening in history at that time, right? We don't just say these things for no reason,
We speak from the jiva.
Yes, the spirit soul platform. So I think he's also, in a body consciousness, more body conscious than most people, in some sense. Because that's why he's talking like this. That he thinks that
that you see, but if he invited you to his house, right?
Yeah, he's a nice gentleman. Yes, he invited me. Yeah. He was upset.
So he was upset because you're inviting me to your house. It means you're interested in an open conversation, dialogue.
Yes.
You're interested in bringing all these issues out so we can discuss them in the open. He didn't have that intention. His intention was to be able to go back to people and say, well, I had him over and I told him to chill, and then he left. Right. But you can turn it around and say you're creating an opportunity for communication here.
Yes.
And this is wonderful. Just like when that guy wanted the money back, that temple president guy wanted the money back. They said, yes, let's spend the money. Let's get the money. Let's spend it on preaching. Let's spend it on Sankirtan.
Right.
No, we just want our chunk of the money. No, let's take the money. It's not our money. It belongs to Krishna. Let's use it for Krishna's purpose. And that's the same with this guy. If he wants to be able to go and say, I talked to him, but he was hard to talk to, or something like that. You get some points, from the gang, from his people. But you can say, we welcome the idea that we will have meetings just like you invited me to your house. We would like to have meetings like this all the time. So that's called Istagosthi. So all these issues get sorted out.
Yes.
And you don't say, I'm right, you're wrong, or you're right, I'm wrong. You say, we want to sort the ideas out. Let the chips fall where they may.
Yes.
So that's where you need to become very liberal, very open.
Yeah, we're very open. That's why we're doing everything very publicly.
Exactly.
No
So we're not against you. We're not against gurus. We want open discussion. That's all. Let's have open discussion. If you say like that, what can he do? What defense does he have against you saying you want open discussion?
Yeah, there's no offense with that, having an open discussion online.
Is there something wrong with open discussion?
There's nothing wrong with open discussion.
You're right. How could there be?
Yeah.
So I would recommend that with all the people in Sacramento. That's very nice. Why don't we get together and discuss all of this openly?
Right.
And go over the points and study the history of ISKCON, study the history of what Prabhupada said, study the history of what Prabhupada did, you know? We're not just putting up some political point. We are saying here, we are all students of Prabhupada. Let's be good students of Prabhupada and understand what he actually was teaching us.
Yeah, I mean,
because
if people,
I can be mistaken, but then again, you can also be mistaken. So if that's the meaning of Istagosthi, these mistakes get rectified in our conversation.
Try.
And if the guy says, well, it wouldn't do any good, whoever said, you don't need to be afraid. Your ideas are not going to be overthrown just by one person like me. We need to have an open discussion so everything is discussed the way it was coming from Prabhupada's lotus mouth and the way he wanted it. Let's make it happen that way. Not this party or that party.
Yeah, the party thing really kills the whole thing.
But then if we say we don't want party, then they get angry because they don't want they want their party to win. We say open discussion, not party, open discussion. What can they do? It's indefensible. What can a person do if you say you want an open discussion? Oh, I don't have time for that. Well, then why do you have time to complain? You're complaining what I'm doing or what you think I'm doing, but you don't know what I'm doing. You don't really know what I'm actually saying. So you think I'm doing all these things. So let's have an open discussion. Oh, I don't have time for it. Well, then you should not take the time to complain. Keep it to yourself. Why should you complain if you don't have time for the Istagosthi?
Right. That's a very good point. Why even watch our videos and see what we're doing and complain about it? Why not come? This is an open invitation to you, anyone else who's watching.
Or I would sit down with you in your house and drink orange juice or something, you know.
Right. Okay. I wanted to share this video before we end. So
sure,
let me play
nice.
This one here. This is when Bir Krishna was here. Okay, I'll play it now.
To somehow or other dedicate one's life to Srila Prabhupada's movement and bringing people to Srila Prabhupada's movement and Srila Prabhupada's lotus feet. Now, of course, I understand that I am acting as a guru. Maybe.
Maybe.
I am acting as a guru. He has a little slightly different philosophy.
That's me right there. Actually, I found that last paragraph is very wonderful, a nectar of instruction from PrabhupadaBooks.com. Prabhupada says, one should not become a spiritual master unless he has attained the platform of Uttam Adhikari. A neophyte Vaishnava or a Vaishnava situated on an intermediate platform can also accept disciples, but such disciples must be on the same platform. And it should be understood that they cannot advance very well toward the ultimate goal of life under his insufficient guidance. Therefore, a disciple should be careful to accept an Uttam Adhikari as a spiritual master. There we go.
Thank you for that. I mean, I tried to repeat the language.
Hari Bol.
Precise, and you just gave Prabhupada's exact language, which is precise. Thank you, Prabhu. My obeisance to you. And so what happens is, yes, the insufficient guidance. Now I'm going to bring down, like a judge, bring the gavel down on the desk of the judge. Bang. What is the judgment here? The judgment is insufficient guidance. And what is that insufficient guidance? It means if you take initiation from a person that's not an Uttamadhikari, even he's a Madhyamadhikari, which you're not going to find in ISKCON very easily, but plenty of Kanistha-adhikari gurus, you will not be able to advance beyond your guru.
That's what's. So there you go. You saw the Bir Krishna video I merged with our group video.
Wow.
Nice.
Fantastic. Nice.
Another interesting point is that if your guru dies in the course of action, being a Kanistha-adhikari guru, and you are devoted to him out of principle, and then you die, you will go to where your guru went.
Yeah.
You're not going back to God, and you go to where your guru went. The next birth.
Yeah.
So what is the advantage?
Yeah. So you saw how Bir Krishna was saying how he's acting as a bona fide guru, and then he doesn't explain what is a bona fide guru. You know, did he explain what is a bona fide guru? He doesn't talk. He doesn't go into the details of what is the qualifications of the bona fide guru.
But he did. What's surprising and very pleasurable for me was how nicely he was talking about Prabhupada and serving Prabhupada and his Prabhupada's movement. The problem is someone like Bir Krishna just doesn't know that he's doing the wrong thing, or he probably does know, but he doesn't know how to do the right thing.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Yes.
So he's stuck between a rock and a hard place. So here comes Ramachandra. You can deliver him. Instead of him, you take initiation from Bir Krishna, he delivers you. Say, I will deliver you from having to try to do something that's beyond your scope. You're not on the same level as Prabhupada, in case you haven't noticed. And you know, why do you want to try to fill his shoes? It's like a little kid putting on his, you know, these kids do that. They put on their dad's coat and they put on their dad's shoes, and there's enough room for 20 feet in each one of their little feet. And then he takes his dad's cane and he starts walking. And he's trying to talk like that. But why? But what are you going to? What will it really work? That's the problem.
Yeah,
that sort of thing is just play acting.
Yeah, it didn't work. You know, I mean, at least for me, he didn't give sufficient guidance to his disciples on what is the qualifications of the guru, what is their responsibility, what is his responsibility, you know. So it's nice. It was a nice ceremony, but all in all, insufficient guidance.
It strikes me that from that laugh that he gave, I get the feeling that he might quit sometime in the future.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't believe in what he's doing.
Right, he doesn't, and I could see that.
And the reason he mentions Prabhupada so much is he's trying to find some way of making what he's doing real. And he knows it's not real. He knows what he's doing is not real. And he would like to convince Prabhupada, he'd like to represent Prabhupada, so he keeps mentioning Prabhupada, but he knows he's not representing Prabhupada. So then what can he do? He can go down in flames, or if he has any degree of sincerity, he will give up being guru on his own, not because of pressure.
Yes. Yeah.
He said, nice try, no cigar.
Nice try, no cigars, right? Yeah. So this is what usually he does. He comes every year, offers some initiation, and collects some donations, and jets off to his next destination. So this is what most of the ISKCON Kanishtha unnecessary gurus, participate in these types of activities.
Mahaprabhu can types of priests do in the Catholic Church.
Yes, yes.
They do some baptisms or something, or ceremonies, mass, collect some money, and then go.
Yeah,
that's
huh?
Mahaprabhu, you said something.
That's what they do.
Oh, that's what they do, right? So
yeah. That's a copy. They're imitating.
Yes.
They don't know what to do because they have no preceptorial power, but they want to imitate. So all they remember about imitating is you do the diksha and you collect some money. They don't remember the philosophy about it. They don't give the mission to the person that's being initiated. They don't inspire them. They don't invite them to travel with them around the world the way Prabhupada invited some of us to do.
Oh, so, very good point. A very good point that they don't invite the disciples to travel with them. Prabhupada wanted everyone to be trained up. Yes, yes, yes.
So what are they doing? They're just stirring the feathers around in the nest,
Yeah, that's it. You said preceptorial. Well, what is that word? Preceptorial? What?
Preceptorial, yeah.
Yeah, what do you mean by that?
Oh, preceptorial means that you have the key cognitive actual answer. It's like Prabhupada used the word spiritual preceptor. The person that gives you Krishna, not gives you a ritual about Krishna. He gives you Krishna himself.
Right.
A preceptor is like the authorized head of something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, could you look it up, Rupa? A concept, we know what a concept is, but now precept is bigger than a concept.
Let me look it up.
I'm looking it up.
Okay, Rupa, go ahead. Jai. Yeah.
Okay, a preceptor, an instructor or specialist who teaches, counsels, and serves as a role model and supports the growth and development of an initiate.
Jai.
Yeah.
Let me look it up in Prabhupada's books now.
Yeah.
A teacher or an instructor.
Yeah, that's a regular dictionary definition, right?
Yeah.
A guru.
So, well, a real guru, yeah.
Yes, a bona fide guru. Acharya.
The OR part means the person that does it.
It is perfectly possible to...
What is going on? What happened?
Somebody dropped something on the screen.
Okay, that's me.
So concept or precept. Precept means before. Cept means the cognitive understanding, or so the person that brings in the original or the precept means the direct. Really, it's like spiritual gift.
Yes. Here, Srila Prabhupada says from, this is not what we read. This is from 11th canto. We don't want to read this.
Well, what does he say?
Oh, okay. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught by his example and precept what a devotee should and should not do, and obedience to such principles brings one to the path of supreme perfection. Thus, one has to rise above ordinary social customs, which directs the living entity towards useless sense gratification.
Now, of course, that was not written by Prabhupada.
Yes, that's what I wanted to say.
Yeah, it was written by Hridayananda Swami, yeah.
Let me look up Prabhupada.
So he struggled with it. He tried to get the right language. He tried to get the right ideas. Then he tried to assemble them but he's not the preceptor himself. So how can he assemble something? He has to assemble something that a preceptor would give, not assemble.
Right.
Because putting together assembly is difficult, is partial. It's like putting together a puzzle. But a preceptor, it's like Alexander cutting the Gordian knot.
So here, Pradumna, the Prabhupada's Sanskrit scholar, is reciting this in a Srimad Bhagavatam lecture in London, August 23rd, 1971. Pradumna Prabhu says, quote, and all other precept. Vyasadeva is the original spiritual preceptor for all men, and all other preceptors are considered to be his representatives. A representative is one who can exactly present the viewpoint of Sri Vyasadeva. Prabhupada says a representative is one who can expertly present the viewpoint of Sri Vyasadeva. Sri Vyasadeva impregnated the message of Bhagavatam onto Sri Shukadeva Goswami, and Sri Shuta Goswami heard it from him, Srila Shukadeva Goswami. All bona fide representatives of Sri Vyasadeva in the chain of disciplic succession are to be understood to be Goswamis. These Goswamis restrain all their senses and they stick to the path made by the previous acharyas. So the preceptor, Prabhupada uses the word preceptor here. Vyasadeva is the original spiritual preceptor for all men. And then he says a representative is one who can expertly present the viewpoint of Sri Vyasadeva. Interesting, huh?
Yeah. So if the concept is the idea, the precept is the origin of the idea.
Yes.
The preceptor gives the origin of the truth.
Yes.
It's the source of the origin, or embodies the origin of the truth.
And Srila Prabhupada makes this one last statement here, that they stick to the path made by the previous acharyas. The word acharya comes here. Okay. Let's see. What else Prabhupada says? Let's go into the conversations. What Prabhupada says in the conversations regarding preceptor. No, because this is a question and answers in Canada, August 26th, 1968. Because he was treating Bhaktivinoda Thakur as his Shiksha Guru, preceptor. So it is in the line. This is pretty interesting. No, because he was treating Bhaktivinoda as his Shiksha Guru, so it is in that line. And a devotee, before that, he says, devotee, does our line of succession go directly to Gaur Kishore Das Babaji or Bhaktivinoda Thakur? Prabhupada says no, because he was treating Bhaktivinoda Thakur as his Shiksha preceptor guru. So it is in that line. So what's happening here is, I guess a devotee is asking Srila Prabhupada a question. Does our disciplic succession go directly to Gaur Kishore Das Babaji or to Bhaktivinoda Thakur? So Prabhupada says no, because he was treating Bhaktivinoda Thakur as his Shiksha guru.
Does that question make any sense? Why would it be one? Why would it be one or the other?
Because here, Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, according to Srila Prabhupada, was treating Bhaktivinoda Thakur as his preceptor, meaning his Shiksha Guru, liberated soul.
So what is the question? I'm questioning the question, not the answer.
Oh, he's asking that, does the disciplic succession go through directly to Bhaktivinoda Thakur? I mean to Gaur Kishore Das Babaji. From
where?
I guess
from where?
From Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur to Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, then to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, then to Jagannath Das Babaji.
But that's backwards.
What do you mean backwards? Yeah, that's so
that's the opposite direction of going.
What do you mean? Actually, direction me. Huh? We take. Go ahead.
We take Bhaktivinoda Thakur is the preceptor of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji.
Yes.
Gaur Kishore Das Babaji is the Diksha Guru of Bhaktisiddhanta.
Yes.
But it appears that the relationship between Gaur Kishore Das Babaji and Bhaktivinoda was not particularly formal.
Yes, it was not. Gaur Kishore Das Babaji was treating Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who was a, preceptor guru, great acharya or great teacher in a superior position. If you want to call it that.
You see what I'm trying to do? I was trying to see if the question by the person who wanted to answer was based on some doubt of the qualification of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, that he had an unspecified source of spiritual authority.
Yeah, and Prabhupada says no, because
that's the sort of thing that I personally now that I feel that I understand the role of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji, then I'm very, very, touchy or possessive or defensive of the role of Gaur Kishore Das Babaji as being. So you can see here's Bhaktivinoda Thakur. He wants his son to take initiation from Gaur Kishore. Now the question is, where did Gaur Kishore become the authority to initiate Bhaktisiddhanta? And Prabhupada clarifies that sort of kind of by saying that Gaur Kishore was the disciple of Bhaktivinoda.
Yes.
But in a sense, it strikes me that it clouds the issue a little bit, because the whole point is that this father cannot initiate his own son, which is so Gaur Kishore is sort of like in between. So the question really is, where did he have a spiritual source, or was he self-manifested, which is what I suspect. Anyhow, Prabhupada answers it, and because Prabhupada answers it, we don't have to worry about it, because that's the answer.
Jai, Haribol.
Yeah.
Okay, so preceptor being used again. Interviewer in Seattle, September 24th, 1968. Interviewer asked the question, then your teachers are called spiritual masters. You are the spiritual preceptor, your holiness, and do you use the word guru? Srila Prabhupada says, our guru or spiritual master comes down from that disciplic succession. It is not that somebody all of a sudden becomes guru and manufactures his own philosophy. We don't accept such nonsense. We must accept somebody who is actually bona fide, coming in that disciplic succession, not others. We must accept somebody who is actually bona fide, coming in the disciplic succession and not others. That's pretty interesting, huh?
Yeah.
Then he asks a question about Zen. This is interesting.
How do we know that they're bona fide?
Yeah, that's a good question. How do we know if a...
How do we know if a guru is bona fide? Who bona fides them?
They have to be in the line of disciplic succession that is not just outside, but is the same chain that goes all the way up by hundreds and even thousands of gurus up to Balaram at the beginning of the universe.
So it's a lineage.
Yes.
Yes. It's a spiritual lineage, not a genetic one.
Yes.
So I could never become a bona fide guru if I wanted to.
You could become a bona fide guru if there was some need for you to become a bona fide guru.
Yeah, that's the way to put it, yes.
But
and how would we know that?
Well, because you would have to be born in a very special way, and you'd have to be a resident of Krishna Loka to begin with.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah, in other words, it all looks pretty casual from the outside, but on the
Right.
inside, it's extremely structured from the point of view of Krishna Loka. All of these jivas, all of these gurus are different personalities in Krishna Loka. It's not as though they never met before. You see, they are all in the subject line, and they have relationships in Krishna Loka. And when they came down, they took part in this disciplic succession. I believe Rupa, what is said that all of the acharyas in the subject line are, what are they? Manjari, not Manjari, something like that. Do you know?
Some of them are manjaris, some of them are cowherd boys. It's not. It's described
No,
in
but
the Gonad. Yes.
Yeah, but
go
they
ahead.
all have exalted, not just ordinary roles, but exalted roles in Krishna Loka.
Oh yeah. Yes. 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 Very intimate
And
relationship
that
with
should
Krishna.
take away the notion that it has anything to do with people on earth to peoply things.
Yes.
Is
No.
is Rupa still on the call?
Yes, she's still there, but I muted her because she was. Let me ask her to unmute and speak if she wants.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
still
Yeah, she's
here.
here. Yes. All right. Okay, Mahaprabhu,
Yeah.
any last concluding words? You want to be a guru? We'll make you the guru for League for 10K.
Okay. I don't know if I want that position yet.
But the thing is, you'll have to.
You'd have to take several more births to do it.
Narayan is my guru.
Well, we can talk like that, I mean, because anyone who teaches me is my guru. Anybody
Right.
who teaches me anything is my guru. So we're talking about a whole different thing. We're talking about preceptorial acharyas. These
Yeah,
are
that is-
personalities who are completely they are cogs in the kingdom of God. They have roles in the kingdom of God, and then they transfer these roles down to become gurus. The ordinary people or even the disciples don't often begin to understand that. But the actual fact is that they are very high end in terms of their relation. The reasons why they came down is very specific.
Right. Okay.
So
Mahaprabhu.
we can't act on the ground as though we came from the spiritual sky for that purpose. So we can't become gurus, not like that. But having said that, you can become the guru of your wife. You can become guru of your children. You can become guru of your next door neighbor. I mean, all you have to do is give transcendental knowledge in a pure and unobstructed way, and
Right.
then people will get the benefit of it without doubt. And that makes you a type of guru. But it's not the type of guru where you go to take initiation.
Yes. All right, let's end it at that good note. Srila
Okay,
Prabhupada
Jai.
is the Shiksha and Diksha Guru here.
Hare
Jai.
Krishna.
And everyone
Hare
is his
Krishna.
disciple. Jai.
Jai. Hare Krishna. Jai.